And I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't take offense or really care whether you say like I'm a hedgy shill or anything like that, because again, these are not my words. These are directly from the filings. This is what the CEO is saying. From a short-term standpoint, fundamentally, I see AMC making maybe a small modicum of a jump. I theorize that with the amount of new blockbusters coming out, sure, yeah, AMC will have possibly a spike in their favor, but over time, I think, the premium video on demands, the HBO Maxes, the Netflix and stuff like that, they're going to overtake it. And AMC is just going to be left in the dust. And AMC is probably going to become irrelevant. And then probably, I want to say, it might happen faster, it might happen longer, but I want to say probably about 1 to 2 generations. Welcome back. To reiterate my point again, I really don't care what you guys think or say. I just care about making money, period. The front end of what people think is like my commentary or anything like that is actually, I'm just literally just reading what the CEO has said or the company has said themselves. And it's funny because it serves to prove my point, because people jump to conclusions based on YouTube statistics. They only watch the first 3 minutes of an 11-minute video, and they just jump to conclusions and saying, oh, you're a paid hedgy shill or anything like that. I don't take offense to that because I don't really care. I'm going to show you a clip from someone else I watched earlier this week, and he's saying this mostly relegated to the crypto space, but it's not. It's not self-contained within the crypto space. It's anybody that is in the trading and investment space.
And when emotions are high, it makes it impossible to make a level-headed, logical decision. This is far too common in the cryptocurrency world, where if you say anything negative or critical about a project, you're downvoted into oblivion for spreading FUD. But if you're blindly optimistic for the purpose of being strong for the community, people love it and they passionately follow along because they believe that cryptocurrency is the golden parachute that's going to make them rich. But the problem is, this creates an echo chamber effect of only hearing the information you want to hear, without being able to hear other viewpoints which would give you a more broad perspective.
So if you're not going to listen to me, at least listen to someone of a different food coloring and of larger influence. Now, I was hoping to hit the 3-minute mark by now, but turns out that's not the case. But before I show you what I did with AMC this week, and I really don't want you guys to stay around for that because it's kind of embarrassing and stuff like that, but know that I will forgive you if you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you'll drop off by this point so that I don't have to show you the shame that is AMC and my positions and stuff like that. Again, with everything in this space, legal disclosure, I do have a position in AMC. Past performance is not indicative of future returns. I'm not a financial advisor. Any results or actions that you take from this, the responsibility and the results of fall upon you as the individual. I'm not accredited or licensed in any recognizable jurisdictions. And yeah, let's get started. So what you see here is the brokerage statement, as well as the Discord statements, as well as my platform statements on May the 27th of 2021. As you can see in the first bit, I was talking about AMC, and I was saying to myself that, I see 2 sellers. One was at $19.26, and then one was at $20. Now, I said that it could possibly jump if these 2 get smacked. And for the most part, I am more of a momentum trader than anything else. I like to ride the wave of stuff. But I didn't get into this right away because I was kind of distracted with futures tradings. So it wasn't until I actually did see a dark pool print after it broke 20 at 21, I believe it was 22.38, that I decided, you know what, screw it. If this breaks 23, I'll get in, and so forth, as you see on the next 2 slides there. I got in at 23.35 and then 23.06, and then I got out at just under 27 and 25.37. I know I'm going to get some of these questions, so again, I'm just going to re-answer them again. Am I against AMC? No. Like I said in the beginning of my thesis, that I think that there will be some small fundamental spikes because, they're finally actually being able to do business again, new summer blockbusters and that sort of thing. And this is just kind of the result of me playing out my thesis. The second question I get a lot is, why do I block the quantity of my trades when I'm showing them all the time? And I would throw the question back to you, which is, why does it matter to you how much money I make? You can't spend my money, I can't spend yours. So what's the point of really caring about it, right? And you're free to assume whatever makes you happy and stuff like that. But the reason why I do it is because based on my previous professional experience when I worked on the floor, they were taking groups of 10 people or sometimes 20 people, and they would give them about $50,000 in buying power. And as these guys are hanging around, they also see us, with 7 figures in buying power, doing all these sorts of crazy trades, being in all these sort of different trades all the time. And they just get so blindsided by, how well we're doing all the freaking time that they don't see the days where we're down. And what happens is that they create some sort of weird sense of surrealism, and they start getting more aggressive, trying to catch up to us for some reason, and they start YOLOing their 50,000 that they're given. And what ends up happening is that most of these guys just blow up their account and they just leave. It's more of a question of when, not a question of how. It's just a question of when. And they blow it up trying to mimic us. And the main reason is that I don't do this is because I feel that it detaches from the point of trading well consistently. And again, like I said, you're free to assume however much shares are actually there or not. It's enough for me to live and be happy and not really ever have to worry about money. So the following day, I wake up on my usual 5 a.m. I started my analysis and I kept an eye on AMC, mostly because it was doing the most pre-market volume at the time. And I saw that there was 2 sellers. There was one at 30 and then one at 35. And I made a dumb personal decision to get in at 5:45 and another again at 6:30. And the reason why I say it's dumb is because the secondary order that I fired there at 6:30 was actually put me in margin. And margin is something that is incredibly dangerous and incredibly risky. I don't think you should even use it if you guys don't know what you're doing. Stay away from it. But, my thinking was that if we do attempt at 35, I know we're probably going to attempt 30, but if we attempt for 35, this is previous all-time highs, and people usually get a little fearful around that from my personal experience, because if we were to breach that, we could have a possible run, but it's kind of unknown territory, it's unexplored territory. And the other reason is because I know a little bit about how market makers operate. They actually do a lot more than just what most people perceive them to do. And one of their jobs is to keep an orderly market, right? Now, if you start screwing with that because they don't want to get screwed. Most of the time, if someone has to take the other side and they can't find someone, they have to take the other side of the trade because they have to keep an orderly market, right? So, and again, these guys are just trying to do their jobs, but what they'll do is they'll start widening the spread. So you'll see, spreads go from 1 cent on normal to 20, 30, 50 cents or whatever, right? Because they don't want to get screwed by this. So, I usually write that down as an air of caution for people. But, as the day went on, I noticed that the volume slightly started dipping, and we did go for 35. We did pop it a little bit, and then I just decided to taper off. So as for the put, you guys can see I took an option, a single day option there, or 0 DTE option there. Sorry, Rita, if you're watching this, but I took it mainly because we were having a back and forth on Discord, link down below, and it worked out well. But I didn't stay it for very long because it's a 0 day option. So after that, later into the market, I just looked at my previous short-term analysis and said, you know what? I still like the previous thesis that I had, which is we are moving into the summertime with the possibility of reopen and summer blockbusters coming back. Something is better than nothing, as per what Adam Aaron has said, and I just took a long position going into the weekend. So my final thoughts and opinions are mostly that people shouldn't jump to conclusions and actually get a well-balanced argument instead of just hearing one-sided arguments to the situation and thinking everybody else is the enemy. And the second thing is that obviously you guys should be well informed, and you guys should make your own decisions, and you guys should take responsibility for your own actions and stuff like that. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this AMC long. I'm still waiting to see what happens with the thesis that I have with the summer blockbusters and so forth. I think that we're going to see some reports saying that AMC's back and that people are going to the theaters again, which I don't disagree with, but I don't think it's going to be at the same capacity that they think it's going to be at, to the point where it actually overshadows what their operational costs are. And I think that as we move further into reopening, I think that operational cost is going to scale up and their attendance is going to scale up. But again, reference point, I think that it's not going to be indicative or as much as they thought before pre-2020 or anything like that. But I could be wrong about that situation. People could like continue and keep going to the theaters, but I think it's going to be phased out in favor of premium video on demand in probably 1 to 2 generations. But unless that is, of course, like some sort of act of God happens and AMC has some sort of new innovation to get people into their theaters and stuff like that, or a new way for them to make money. But I don't know. What do you guys think that they can do to innovate? Let me know in the comments down below. And just remember, just because you're a day trader doesn't mean you have to trade every single day.